Hey bro, you should do a video about Clams Casino. I don't really know what that is. Let me look that up. This looks pretty good, but I'm all out of white wine. Wait, hold on. I got some right here. What's going on today, guys? Today we'll be making a Clams Casino type beat in Ableton. We're going to be using Serato's sample and pretty much all stock devices within Ableton. So it's worth mentioning that a Clams Casino type beat will be heavily focused on sampling. So if you're not expecting to see a lot of sampling, then I don't know what to tell you right now. But you're almost definitely going to need sampling, or you're going to need a singer in your pocket to sample. The foundation to a Clams Casino beat essentially is someone singing over some type of melody. He'll generally sample the two things combined in one. You can try to separate them into two separate things if you wanted to be cool, but that just make it a lot more hard work for yourself. Anyways, let's get started. You have a template project with all your favorite drums or something. Maybe start with that. Definitely gonna want a boom bap snare and not a trap snare. He does kind of have a trap influence to his drums, but he generally uses a boom bap snare, I notice. BPM will be about 70. Here's the snare pattern I'm using. It's kind of a basic pattern, but I kind of like to switch up between a few different snares. Now I'm going to record a kind of wavy kick pattern, something that just kind of flows. I put delay on the snare, on one of the snares, and that kind of will help give us a little more groove without even putting in any percussion yet. Now I got the trap open hats open, and I'm going to mess around with the sounds until I find some I like to go with this. Maybe find like a little pattern or two. I try to like make a good groove before even doing the trap closed hats yet, because he doesn't have as much focus on the closed hats as like a 3-6 Mafia beat, for instance. Now I have a drum rack open with a bunch of closed hats in it and a bunch of arpeggiators on each sample. I'm gonna play with the pads on my push until I get kind of a rhythm I like. I might end up changing it later, we'll see. Alright, I'm recording some closed hats now. You don't have to make yours like mine. I guess I was feeling kind of spicy. Might be a little too spicy, to be honest. Now I'm setting up some quick auto pan to give the closed hats a little more movement and to make the drum loop just make more sense. As I do with a lot of devices, I set them out high at first so I can hear what the effect is doing, and then I'll dial it back once I adjust it to how I want. So now we're going to sample a melody. For a Clams Casino type beat, the melody sample is going to do most of the heavy lifting for us. Alright, sample, you ready to do some heavy lifting? So I gave you guys a list earlier of things we can sample. We're going to pick from that list. You're going to want something without drums, and you're going to want to put delay on it, probably 3 or 4 steps. So I'm going to show you guys how you would do it in simpler real quick, and then I'm going to go over to Serato sample, and I'll probably do it with that instead. It's just a lot better. Yeah, but I'm not a fucking idiot, so I'm going to use Serato sample. And it's just so much better because it automatically warps the BPM to the BPM you're working with in your DAW. Essentially, when you're resampling something onto a beat, you're going to want the timing to line up. And when we put delay on this, we're going to create some possible timing issues. So we're going to want it as in time as possible. Okay, so now I'm messing with the chops, trying to find some stuff I liked that goes together. Oh no! Look at all these unwanted resonant frequencies. What will we do? They're everywhere. You're not. I am Bloom Audio. Did you say your name's Blue Claudio? No, it's Boom Audio. Wait, it's Bloom Audio. Are you gonna save us? No. Wait. Yes. I'm gonna have to wait till later though because it's raining now. Wait, can you help? I'm gonna have one set of chops I play for 4 or 8 bars, and have another set of chops I play for 4 or 8 bars, and they're gonna kind of bounce between each other. Kind of similar to how Clams did in his I'm God beat. Obviously the vibe of this track is a little bit different than that though, but it really depends on the sample. But we still got like that Imogen Heat vocal in there, so it does create a similar vibe. Alright, I got the B section. Now I'm editing the A section. Going there, changing some notes to find exactly what I'm looking for. Well, maybe not exactly what I'm looking for, but something adequate. Okay, so with the A and B sections, I'm going to separate them onto different tracks. Reason being is they each have their own 3-step delay, and I'm going to automate them to turn them off when the other one is playing. So when the A section is playing, the B section is not going to be playing, and when the B section is playing, the A section will not be playing. And this is because we do not want delay to bleed over onto each other from each track. This could cause some potential dissonance. Okay, cool, now I'm doing the bass. Pretty simple, just C, D, I think like F, G, A. From what I've noticed, there's not really anything too special to his bass. You can basically do almost anything you want here. I'm not saying whip out the neuro bass or anything, but like, you know, a sub bass, an 808, most of that would probably be adequate. Yeah, sometimes I like to think I don't have a problem, but for some reason I made a C section to this beat. So let's cut this bitch out. I basically sampled, what is it, a Demus? Can't see it. Kind of more of like a choral cinematic sound. In order to make sure these two samples would blend together, I put them both into the same key, which was D minor, so it at least makes sense to transition from one to the other. This has been trick number 16 from Weaver's Sampling School. Alright, so I'm basically doing what I did earlier, messing with the chops until I find something I like. You know, at some point I started to realize this drum pattern is a little bit too skippy for the type of beat I'm going for. So I went in and I edited the drums a bit, gave a little more consistent notes here and there, maybe like 8th and 16th notes. Still had some of the skippy kind of notes, but I wanted to make sure there's a little bit more of a straight feel first before getting to that. I changed drum pattern a little bit on the C section as well. I tried to listen to each sample and kind of think to myself how I thought the drums would go for each part. I made some tiny little adjustments for each part. Okay, so I recorded bass for the C section. Then I started experimenting with different distortions or different presets of distortions to try and get different sounds. You can get different 808 sounds by shuffling through the 808 as well as the distortion. You can try saturation as well, but it's generally a lot more subtle, unless you are cranking it way up. Alright, I decided to go back and tweak some things within the bass in section 1. I noticed there was a note or two that might be off, and there's some things that I did not like about it. So I went in and adjusted those accordingly. Alright, so now we're going to do some really quick mixing. Like we're basically going to speedrun mixing here. So we're going to sidechain the kick to the bass, maybe the sample as well. I'm going to pan the hi-hats. Just kidding, I already did that earlier. Gonna high pass the hi-hats, maybe the sample too. Maybe cut a little room for the kick. Balance the levels out a little bit better. And alright, these are the finished beats. First is this one that I did in this tutorial, and then after that, here's another one I made while streaming. you guys want to see me make more beats in real time, check out my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/WeaverBeats. Make sure to check out Bloom Audio. Yeah, why am I telling you this? Hey Weaver with the face, why don't you tell them? Bloom-audio.com for great mixing and mastering. I know this because I am them. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Alright, that's good. Either one of those will work. Don't worry guys, Melodon is fairly cheap. It's only like $799. And with code Weaver, you can get 0% off. Congratulations.
Band Incorporated.